Hello, this is Manish Patel from the EIA Capital Group. Today is April 9th, 2012. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the global stock markets, everything, where we cover everything from North and South America to Europe to Asia. Here's my normal disclaimer. This is for educational use only. All charts you're going to see are from Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, or Telechart 2000 from Warren Brothers. Here are my contact details here at Patel at eiicapital.com. You can find us at ichimokutrade.com for any of our free videos on Ichimoku, or heat map email services, or anything else out there. Okay, so let's go straight and start looking at all the world markets. We're finally today getting a pullback, which is well needed in all the global markets worldwide. It's not just happening across the stock markets, but currencies and futures too. And you could see the big red bar right now. That's pretty much happening, which is healthy. We're not quite done. We really need as much of a pullback as possible. And believe it or not, we really like to see if the DAX market here, which we're looking at, if it could come down another 400 points, that would be perfect, to about the level here, which we showed here, around 64. Actually, even if it could get to here at 64, that would be a perfect pullback level. And at that point, I think it would be a really healthy pullback for the markets to then continue to go up and then break these pivot highs here and then keep on going to start to make some real highs towards the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we gotta wait for this pullback to finish. And hopefully be drastic enough. Paris market's pulling back too, and if you look here, we would like it to pull back to this level here at 3,200 is the pullback level we're looking for as far as Paris is concerned. London market, you're looking at a pullback level to about right here, somewhere right here, about 55.75 level. If it could pull back to that would be great. But again, that's pulling back too. So you're going to see this across the board for every one of these instruments where it's needed a pullback and you're finally getting. Israel really not doing anything, it's just consolidating here at the bottom. No real opportunity as far as Israel market is concerned, it's just consolidating. There's Stockholm here. It's doing its pullback level to about 1,000, which is perfect, which is what's needed. If it could hold 1,000 and have a potential to go in higher, then you'll see this possibly start a trend where it can sit there and get to 1,200 and then break past the 1,200 mark there. But it definitely needs a huge movement up to forward to do that. South Africa, it's pulling back to about $64 on this ETF from iShares is what's needed. Then at that point, it's got to break about 68.50 to start a trend to the top side. Turkey, it's really not doing anything at all right now. It's just kind of hanging around, so not much to talk about there. Russia, it's pulling back. You could see here it's pulling back to this level. I definitely would stay away from even on this one. Even though it's a pullback, it's not a good pullback with the charts right now. So I would definitely walk away from this one compared to all the other markets that are out there. So Russia, let's definitely stay away from. Let's go over to Asia. Let's go look at China. China's gone down, really not doing anything at all, just kind of hanging around this bottom here. And not really doing anything, so there's nothing really to talk about as far as China is concerned. Hong Kong, if you look at Hong Kong, really nothing going on right now. It's pulling back. It's at a minor support level right now. If you could get to about 20,000, that would be perfect, and then make a move to where it breaks about 22,500. This thing does have a chance of starting a trend long term, but time will tell. Tokyo market, you could see here finally Japan did a pullback after it broke out of the cloud. Really healthy right now. If it could get to about 9,500 to about 9,100, anywhere in there, pull back to that level and then start making a move to break 10,500, then this thing can start a long-term trend towards the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and definitely keep an eye on the Japanese market. Sensex market here, really nothing going on as far as the Bombay Sensex market. Prices in the cloud, so we're consolidating. Really nothing that's going to go on here. It's just consolidating, so there's nothing really to talk about. Sydney market, really nothing to talk about at all. Consolidating, trying to get to its high of its range. Mexico, now going to North America, is still bullish trending here. Everything's still intact right now. It kind of bounced off 40,000, but it does have a potential to keep on going and breaking through that very easily. So definitely keep an eye on Mexico moving forward. One was Canada. We forgot to bring in Canada. Canada is at a major pullback level right now at 12,000. If it doesn't hold here, this does have a potential going all the way down to about 12,000 or even about 11,750. So definitely keep a lookout to this, more towards the bearish side than bullish at all right now moving forward. Sao Paulo, Brazil, it kind of broke down. It didn't even quite get to 70,000, but it made a huge move up there. You really needed to kind of come down as close as possible as 60,000 as much as possible before you start looking at any buying opportunities at all, because the trend will be really still be intact to the bullish side, and now be a healthy pullback to 60,000 so it could make a move to 70,000 by the end of the year. Colombia still very strong, hasn't pulled back much at all, so Colombia is very strong compared to Brazil and all the other countries there. And then two countries I forgot to in Asia. Singapore, really nothing going on as far as Singapore is concerned. And Malaysia is still holding its ground as far as bullish concerned, with not much of a pullback at all. So those are the last two countries there. So now let's go to the US side. Let's go to the Nasdaq, which has pretty much been leading on the futures. Remember, the daily is on the left hand side, the weekly is on the right hand side. Really, we're pulling back, but not much of a pullback. You really kind of need to get to about 2668 as a pullback level as far as the Nasdaq is concerned. That's the first minor pullback level there. If you get down to 2600, that's the first major pullback level that we probably would experience, and 2600 is the perfect ideal level if we could get down to that level. But that's a huge movement we're asking for from the Nasdaq, but it can happen too. The next was pretty much the Dow. And if you look at the Dow right now, you could see that we're pretty much mediocre right now moving forward, but it just needs to pull back some more. The more it pulls back, the better it's going to be. It's really got to get into a 12,500 range if possible in order for a real pullback to say that it occurred. But we are pulling back right now. We just got to wait to see how far it's going to pull back. And then let's go look at the ES mini futures. And you can see the ES mini futures are here. We're at a minor support level right now, but we definitely need to pull back as much as we can. 13,000 is the ideal level if we could pull back to that. But I'm not sure if it's going to get that far. We definitely will probably get to about 1350 to 1330, but 1300, I'm not sure if it'll get that far or not. But if it does, that'll be a great pullback level to get to, and then bounce off moving forward. And then the Russell. If we look at the Russell, nothing really going on. It's just consolidating. I'll definitely stay away from the small caps and Russells. It just looks ugly, so it's not even worth looking at. So again, just be patient. Wait for the markets to pull back. We're finally getting a pullback now. We've been out of our long positions for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and we've just been patiently waiting for a pullback. It's here. Now we gotta wait for the pullback to kind of finish doing its pullback levels, and then at that point we can start looking at buying opportunities for a long-term basis again until the end of the year. So that's the way we're playing it right now, and I definitely would encourage other people to do it that way too. You gotta wait for confirmations before you start putting on trades. Thank you, and